Hey, what's going on, guys? DJ S here, bringing you guys a kind of a more serious commentary this time. So if you guys are not interested in that, please do not watch this video because you'll be bored and depressed and all that stuff. But it's kind of a depressing subject, and I wanted to share it with somebody. I haven't really talked to a lot of people in person about this as well. But basically, I have a friend that I went to college with, friends of people that I roomed with, so he was over at the house all the time, played basketball and whatnot, and all around a nice guy. And a couple months ago, back in January, he hit me up on Facebook. He said, "Hey, I just got back from Africa," he said, and he did, I think, a charity trip, or I'm not really sure what he did over there. Regardless, he came back and he said his eyes were opened. And he wanted to know if I had any shoes to donate. And I said, I don't really have any shoes to donate because a lot of the ones I have are collector's items. They're things I collect. There's a handful of ones that were like really grimy that I ended up giving to Goodwill recently. So I'm like, I don't really have a lot right now, but I'll keep you posted. And he didn't write back. That was the last I heard, and he didn't write back. And I was like, okay, well, maybe, because he's like, I'm willing to come meet you up and pick him up in person or whatever. So if there's anything that you have, let me know. Because he knows that, I post pictures on Facebook of my shoe collection here and there. And if you guys didn't know, I'm a pretty avid collector. I have a lot of Nikes and Jordans and stuff like that. But anyway, so I didn't hear from him for a while. And then I met up with another friend of mine that we're mutual friends. And he's like, have you heard from so-and-so in a while? I was like, no. I told him the last time I talked to him, and he said, well, I don't know how, I can't, it's kind of awkward being the first one to break this to you, but he ended up contracting meningitis. And if you don't know what meningitis is, I'm not going to try to explain it to you. I was just looking it up, but I know it affects your body in a pretty severe way. And the one he had was a bacterial meningitis, which is very, very serious situation. Unlike not as serious would be the viral wouldn't be as serious, but bacterial is, and that's what he had. And basically, he said he ended up having to go to the hospital. They thought he had the flu or something. He ended up going to the hospital, and they basically told him that he could die. There was a 40% chance of him living. I believe that's what the percentage was. And they said, in order to save your life, we need to amputate both of your legs and both of your hands, or arms and legs, basically. So he was basically a quadriplegic overnight, and they ended up amputating him, and he is alive and doing better. This was a handful of months ago, and I didn't hear anything about it because I have like 3,000 friends on Facebook, and so not from YouTube and stuff, but just from DJing, I have a lot of contacts from like my own personal life stuff. So I don't get to see a lot of updates that happen from people that I necessarily want to see updates from. And he had updates from him saying he's doing better. That there was a situation. He said he's a quadriplegic, and now and I mean, it was just shocking. After my buddy told me the update, I went back and looked, and I was just completely in shock. I could not believe what happened. He didn't have any pictures of himself or anything like that yet, and it was kind of a fresh situation. But anyway, brought back to my attention again because he ended up posting something and saying that he was going to be on the news. And so there was a news article on him, and really just heartbreaking story. And for you guys that if you're curious, I mean, he has a family. He has a wife, and he has at least one child that I know of. And so, can you just imagine just waking up one day and feeling sick, and then next thing you know, you don't have any arms and legs, and it's just such a hard situation to be a part of. And for me, especially, just the fact that here he is asking me if I can donate shoes to a cause, because there's people in the world that don't have shoes, and I have 100+ pair of shoes that I don't even wear, that I have for my collection. It's like. It's kind of like one of those situations where I'm like, God damn, what am I doing? It changes perspective on life quite a bit, and it makes me want to do something. It compels me to want to be able to do something for him, and I'm not sure necessarily what I'm going to be able to do yet, but I want to set up some sort of a charity sort of situation. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any bigger YouTubers involved. Ideally, I'd like to be able to, maybe if I can get some of them maybe TB and R Frags can join in. I tried to hit Syndicate up on Twitter, but I know he has like thousands and thousands of people trying to hit him up. But it's a serious situation. I'm not looking at benefiting at all from this. I'm looking at donating, possibly setting up some sort of a fund, or just contributing to funds that may already be set up for him, and like doing like some eBay auctions or something and selling some of my own personal collection of my shoes, and maybe raising a couple $1,000s of my own money for him, as well as if I can do some sort of a charity stream, and if we can raise any sort of money for him, that would be a great situation. But can you just imagine? I mean, again, he hit me up to get shoes, possibly to donate to children in Africa, and he ends up losing his own legs, and has no need for shoes going forward. And like, it's just a really hard situation for me to deal with. And I'm not one of those people, like, he wasn't my best friend. I'm not going to claim that we were ever best friends or anything like that, but it was just a mutual friend and somebody that I knew, and it's just so frustrating that that things like this happen to to good people. And the other thing about this is his attitude on life is just so positive. His news interview was very touching. Like, they were really like glasses half full sort of people. Like, basically they were very positive. The fact that he was still alive and he could still be here for his children, even if he doesn't have his hands and his legs, that he can be there. And if you guys aren't familiar with meningitis, again, do some Googling, look it up on YouTube. There's a lot of great videos, and his situation's not unique. There's a lot of times when you contract what he got, and they'll have to amputate your arms and your legs to have you survive. It usually happens when you're younger. In his case, it happened when he was a lot older, and it's just a really tough situation, really something tough to even talk about. And I waited months to even talk about this to you guys, and yeah, I don't know. I want to be able to help out in some way, shape, or form, and I know that there is a small possibility that there is some actually robotic hands that he can get to actually be able to have use in his hands again, or by using again robotic hands. But it costs like $30,000. They said on the news when he was talking about it. It costs $30,000 per hand. So, I mean, that along with the fact that their medical bills have got to be through the roof just from the fact of everything that he's gone through and it has to go through. It's just, he has a long road ahead of himself. On top of all of this happening, his kidneys actually ended up failing as well, so he has to be on dialysis, which I don't know much about either. But I just know it's got to be a painful time for him and his family, and I'm looking at possibly helping out in any way, shape, or form in multiple facets through gaming community, possibly if possible through my sneakerhead community, because I think that one's going to be the one I'm going to be able to reach out to, and at least if not have other people donate shoes to the cause, have myself donate shoes, and then do the auctions or whatever with shoes. I'm also looking at doing some local events that I can DJ and volunteer and get venues for and DJ for, and raise money that way. But I want to do something for him, and I'm hoping that it can raise some sort of funding for him so they can have it just a little bit easier, because frankly they've had it hard enough as is right now. The last thing I want them to have to worry about, or I'm sure anybody wants them to have to worry about, is financial stability when their backs are kind of against the wall. Anyway, video's coming to an end. I just wanted to share a little bit about this with you guys. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about this yet. I want to reach out to him and talk to him before I try to do anything out there and show his face or anything like that, because I don't want it to be kind of awkward for him. But hopefully the video has been kind of somewhat insightful. Again, do some research, guys, on meningitis. It's a serious thing that there's vaccines for, and you can take them, and you just have to do it beforehand. But it's one of those things that hopefully if you don't have a vaccination for it, it's something to consider, because it can really change your life overnight. Enough of a serious talk for me this time. Hopefully you guys don't mind this little video, but yeah, I just felt compelled to talk about it, and that's about it. So hopefully you guys have a good day. Definitely don't take life for granted, man. That's all I have to say. yeah, puts a reality check on things. Anyway, have a good one, guys, and check back for more videos. Hopefully, I'll post some soon that are a little more positive than this one. But yeah, thanks, guys.